Welcome back to Backstage Pass. With me is one of the most talented comics on the circuit today, Ritch Shydner. How you doing, Rich?
Fine, thank you.
Well, tell us a little bit about how you started in your comedy career.
I started in Washington, D.C., and just went into a, actually it was like one of those old folk places, you know. It was like a coffee house called the Iguana
open
Coffee
mic?
House. Yeah, and there were poets, like I followed this mad poet, you know, one of those like, you know, like the Mango, we were ripe for the revolution
Right.
type poets, and then I just went there and did the comedy. I just had to do it. I don't know why. I just had to do it. I was sending off material to like National Lampoon and Mad Magazine, and they were just, you know, returning it unopened, and I had no outlet for the stuff that I wanted to do.
A lot of the stuff you do, what we were talking earlier, is different all the time. A lot of the comedians have their act, and that's their act for 10 years. And you always have a different act. In fact, the stuff you did for us tonight was complete improv.
Oh, it was uniquely tailored for your show.
Sounds like it.
It's just you wanted, like, this is like a special manufacturing job, and we just pressed that out of the plant and gave it to you, and that's that. You've got a collector's edition there, one of a kind.
Oh, I appreciate it. How do you draw your material?
Yesterday, Anthony Visick, a friend of mine who's performing with me this week, and we came in to the condo, and we turned on the television set, and it was a very badly dubbed Italian movie. And we didn't see the beginning. We watched the whole thing, and Anthony goes, well, this looks like a Fellini movie because you just see lots of women's butts and boobs flying back and forth, you know? And then it was bizarre characters and all that sort of thing. And in the end, they rolled the credits, and it's directed by Federico Fellini and produced by Dino De Laurentiis. And the whole thing was kind of like what I just did there, you know, love, hate, jealousy, all those themes that they put in. This symbolizes that, you know. A bunch of foreign movie stuff you never understand, but you sit there going, oh, yes, I catch that, because everyone wants to look smart.
That's right. But in your act, where do you draw your material from?
Everyday life, you know, that's it. I mean, I end up living most of the stuff, and then it kind of put it in your comedy cooker, and it ferments for a while, and then the anger and frustration turns into laughter. You know, you laugh at it. I mean, you know, you get any distance from anything, you can laugh at it. You know, the more painful, the more distance you need, you know, but most stuff you can laugh at, your own stupidity, and that's what I end up doing.
A lot of comedians are always on. You have a serious side to you as well as a bizarre side.
Yeah.
Who do you try out your material on?
On the crowd.
You always work it out?
Just on the crowd. I tend to be more and more off stage, you know? I mean, just save it for the stage. You know, I mean, some comics will come up and they'll go, let me try this joke on you, try that on you, and it's like, to me, that we have this illegal spritz thing, you know? We go, illegal spritz.
Right.
You know, you don't try your jokes out on me or try jokes you've just tried on the crowd to see if I'll find them funny. Just be natural in the conversation. If something comes up funny, because we're naturally funny, then, you know, it's good.
Now, we were talking about you don't get to meet a lot of the other headliners because you're headlining in the clubs, but we were talking to Danny Johnson, Bruce Baum, and the John Foxes, people that I've had on the show. Who do you emulate? Who do you idolize as far as got your push in comedy?
Well, early on, I worshipped the shrine of Lenny Bruce, you know. And other people put that down, but I liked what he was doing. I also tried to emulate his lifestyle a little bit too much, too, which got me in some trouble. But that's turned around. I love Bill Cosby's humor, George Carlin. I definitely listened to him, you know, when I was in high school. I mean, you know, Carlin, Robert Klein I like a lot. But, I mean, Robin Williams, you know, I like him now a lot. Jay Leno. There's a lot of comedians I like now.
You're right on the verge of busting loose nationally, where everybody will know who you are. Tell us some of the things that you've got going for you in the near future.
To do the Tonight Show, I did a couple small roles on movies, which that puts me on a verge. I don't know. Beverly Hills Cop 2 and Roxanne and Steve Martin movie. And I do a small recurring role on a television show called Married with Children.
That's
just
coming
do these
up
things.
Next season?
Yeah, it's going to be on the Fox network in April.
Oh, that sounds great. Much success for you in the future.
Thank you, Joe. Feature or future?
Feature and future.
Okay.
See you later.
Thank you.